Which camera do I look at?
I don't know what it is with these mics, but it makes me want to sing. Okay, we're back to Jawns with, I guess we should say episode 1 in the new studio, because as you can see, it looks way better than what we had.
Volume 2?
Yeah, volume 2, episode 1. It would be the other way around. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. Volume 2, episode 1. And we got a lot of good stuff to talk about. So first,
I'm excited. I'm just happy to be back. I really, really am.
Oh, we're happy to have you back.
It's been a while.
Why am I actually tearing up? It's tears of joy. And for everything that's going on, because Sixers absolutely dominated in game 5, or not last night, but game 5, just because we don't want to do it ourselves against Boston, dude. Winning in Boston by 12 points, 115 to 103.
And I feel like the game was wasn't as close as the score says. I mean, 12 points isn't really close, but we dominated the whole entire game. They went on like a little run at the end, the fourth quarter, to make it look a little bit closer, but we controlled that entire game start to finish.
So I agree with you now that we won. Looking back at it, we did, because we did. But I was still on the edge of my seat the entire time, because there have been so many points in this playoff series where and exactly, like where we had the lead, and a pretty good lead at one point, and then it was just gone like that.
No, so, I agree with you 100%, because the whole time I'm sitting there and I'm with my buddies, we're watching the game, and I'm like, none of us are comfortable. We're like, bro, just go 40. Sarcastically, we're like, bro, go 40 and a half. Perfect. We're comfortable. But no, I agree with you, because basketball is a game of runs, and you're dealing with the Celtics. Celtics had our number for years, not just this year, and it's always sitting in the back of your mind. So you want to just get up, get comfortable, and like you said, you don't want them to fall behind, because the game prior we were up 10, 12 in the fourth quarter and didn't blow it, but almost blew it.
It could have been very bad ending for us.
Who do we even think? Harden, or do we think Embiid? I mean, I guess
for game 4
Harden,
last night.
4. Well,
and game 4, really. So it kind of sucks, because it's not fair to Joel, because like you expect Joel to have a great performance. So it's always whoever his sidekick is I feel like, Well, last night it was Maxey.
Yeah.
In game 5. So like, I feel like whoever's his sidekick that game is like, they stepped up, and it's just like, Joel, keep putting up 30, buddy.
It's funny. Embiid's been consistent pretty much all series, besides game 1, obviously didn't play. And game 2 was a little rusty, but game 1, Harden was that guy, 45, and then game 4, 42.
Yeah.
Like, who do you even give the MVP to?
So I would say Harden in this series.
I agree.
Yeah.
But overall, looking at it, if you didn't know he hit those 2 game winners, because you look at game 3 and 4, you can also put them losses on Harden.
Well, and and then you also thinking about it too, because like Harden you think about because he's more in your face, but I guess you would also have to factor in like statisticians or whatever. I can't really say that. Statisticians, that's hard. But they would look at it and factor, I think.
Statisticians?
Yeah.
Not a word.
Yes, it is.
You just made it up. Liam, check that.
Stat check it. But no, now you got me losing my concentration. Jeez. No. Because statisticians, I think I'm saying it wrong, which is probably why it doesn't sound like a real word. But they would factor in like the fact that Embiid's also injured. So that might heighten his performance in other people's eyes.
But do you really think like he's injured?
I don't even like talking about this. I'm getting anxiety. I don't want to jinx anything.
Let me just say why I don't think he's really injured. Like injured. I mean, he might be, because they did sit him game 1. You're not going to sit him any game that you don't have to. You know what I mean?
Against the Celtics too.
Exactly. So, I mean, I guess he has to be banged up because back when the injury first happened, I'm dating going back 2-3 Saturdays ago when it first happened. Woj went on Twitter and tweeted, or went online and said, this is a week-long injury at most. Obviously, game 1 was on a Sunday or Monday, and he was out. So it's like, okay. And then he played game 2, which we lost, but he hasn't limping, nothing, anything. He hasn't looked like he's been injured. He's looked exhausted at games, but Embiid looks exhausted game 30 of the regular season.
So
I don't know if he's really injured. I think they were precautionary, and there might have been like a lingering limp, but I think he's good now. These pro athletes are.
He definitely is getting better and like healing quicker than they expected, because in game 5 he wasn't wearing his brace.
Right.
But his injury was more of a lateral ligament, so that's why he was able to play in the brace, because it was keeping it still. So yeah.
Did you notice yesterday too? They kept zooming in on this dude's kneecaps.
Maybe it was because he wasn't wearing the brace. I didn't notice it.
They literally would just zoom in on the kneecap. I was getting so mad. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, first of all, he has long like leggings on, or whatever you want to call them. And I'm like, what do you look like? A doctor can't even look at his kneecap. Be like, oh my God, look, his LCL is.
How funny would it have been if you could see his knees, though? Because you know how some people get like the dimples that make it look like a face? Now I'm going to wonder if Joel has a face on his knee.
Well, no, they were covered. So
I know, but now,
see the face of
get me next to Joel and I'm going to make him show me his knee.
Like, hey, what's up, Joel? Well, actually, he's tall as shit. He'll probably
just literally just turn your head and it'll be
face to face with his knee dimple.
I'm going to see, man. I bet he has a face knee. Or a knee face. Am I saying it backwards? But anyway,
knee face.
The coolest thing about that win.
Knee face.
Gotta
be knee face.
Okay, we'll say knee face. Knee face. But the coolest thing about that game 5 win is not only was it at Boston, also, fun fact, 82.8% of the winners of game 5 when the series is tied goes on to win the series. So that is huge, works in their favor. But by far the best part is they now have a chance to win game 6 and go to the Eastern Conference Finals at home. That would be insane to win it and advance at home. They haven't been in the Eastern Conference Finals
they're winning.
Since like 2001.
They're winning.
At home, or do you think it goes to game 7?
Oh, no, we're winning. We're winning tomorrow night. We're winning the night. We're taking us home tonight.
I am so excited. I'm nervous, but it definitely is a lot of pressure lifted because Boston has Boston won back-to-back games yet? Did they win 2 and 3?
2 and 3?
Okay, so they did. So it's possible. But last night, because I would say it was definitely a big game changer in the fact that you look at game 4, like we said, and even when they had that gap, Boston seemed to have the answer. Last night, it really looked like Maxey kind of found his way of like his style of game finally against the Celtics, because he hasn't been too strong against them all season. And then you just saw the team come together and it looked like they kind of figured it out, because Boston did not have a bad game.
No.
So it was just that the Sixers were better. So I'm hoping that something clicked.
For defense, that every time we went zone, I think there was a stat that came out. I'm trying to think of who it was. I seen it, so I give credit, but when we were in zone, the Celtics shot like 23% when we played zone. I think they mainly go zone when we go to the bench, which obviously makes sense for guys like Niang and stuff like that. But yeah, we did that game 1, and that's what changed the game 1 around. They were attacking us so much down low with Paul Reed, Jaylen Brown, and just Tatum were getting whatever they wanted game 1. Then we went in zone and things kind of slowed up, and they were like, whoa, like. But Doc gets a lot of hate in the city, man, a lot. And I wasn't a fan of Doc pre-signing. I didn't want him to come here. He kind of grew on me, and I kind of been backing Doc. That's not the point I'm bringing this up, but he's been so good this playoffs and all season long, in my opinion. I really, truly believe he's a big reason we're winning these games. He's out-coaching their coach by a unanimous amount.
That's another thing I haven't really heard anybody talk about. Is the fact that they lost Ime Udoka at the beginning of the season and they just had to fill him in kind of thing. So you got to wonder if it would be different if they had Ime still, because Ime is one of the best coaches in the league.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely a better coach. It definitely hurts them. And, I mean, to our point, it's cool.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown might reunite with him next year, I think.
Really?
In Houston.
Where's he go? Okay, I was going to say he did go or announced that he was going somewhere.
So, which I think would be perfect for Jaylen Brown, because he needs to be that guy, and he's not that guy because he has Tatum there next to him. Yeah,
you brought this up when we were talking pre-show.
Oh yeah.
About
what do you think? Who do you? Okay, I guess there's certain ways you can answer it, but who do you think's the better player? Not the better fit for Boston. Who do you think's the better overall player? It's close. I mean, there's really no wrong answer. It's an opinion, but
I think it depends like what kind of system and style you want, because even just like looking at it, Jason Tatum is more of, obviously he's not Joel Embiid, but I mean like he's more of a Joel Embiid where like you can just kind of expect him to put up numbers and it's really quiet and he's going to get his. Where Jaylen Brown is more like in your face and like more extreme type of play. Like I feel like you can't miss Jaylen Brown doing what he's doing. And I do think they're really comparable, but I don't know. I think because Jason Tatum's more of that like quiet style that he's the better basketball player and he's more consistent usually. But Jaylen Brown maybe is the better athlete. Maybe that's the way to word it. I don't know.
I think tough. Tatum's just the NBA tries to promote him so much. They want him to be like,
he has that background story of going to Kobe's camp.
So they kind of want him to be like the face in a way. Not the face, but like one of the guys they can, you know what I mean? One of their guys. But no, I think overall as a player, the reason I bring it up is because it's not it's a hot take. And I think Jaylen Brown's definitely better than Jason Tatum at a lot of aspects of the game. I think Jaylen Brown gets lost a lot on defense. I think he's a good one-on-one ball defender, but I think he gets lost a lot on defense. That's his only like downfall. But offensively, I think he has everything Tatum has, and I think he's even better at finishing around the rim. I just don't think he's been given the keys to pretty much take over that team. I still think it's
definitely Jason Tatum's.
It's definitely Tatum's team. If you look at the stat line, pretty much at the end of every game, Tatum will have a couple more shots or it'll be close. But like game 4, he got into foul trouble. So I understand, but I think he had like the first 11 points for them and finished the game with like low 20s. Like as a game, he should have dropped like 30 something, 40 something, and they wound up losing. Like they got to tell him like, yo, this is your like moment, bro. They shouldn't have to tell him. He should just have that right, and he doesn't. So I feel like having Tatum there hurts him, and I think once he leaves, which I think he's going to opt out at the end of this year and going to go where he belongs, and I think he's going to be a star. I think he's going to show that he's a better player than Tatum, and I truly believe he's better than Tatum.
I think that's going to be a huge loss for the Celtics if he does go anywhere. But do you think Jason Tatum's a Celtics lifer? Like, do you think he's going to, like, will ever leave?
No, I don't.
Because Celtics love to have those key pieces that are just around forever. Obviously, you see it with Horford. He came here for a year, but
I would love for them to get rid of Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, well, yeah, that'd be great for us.
He should feel disrespected because every time they had an opportunity to possibly make a move to land a player, his name has always been brought up every single time. Like when they were trying to get KD, he was the number one. Like, all right, Jaylen Brown's going. I mean, obviously you got to give to get, but
yeah,
he was like immediately brought up. And there was another trade. I forget who it was. I want to say Damian Lillard. I could be wrong, but they mentioned him possibly going to the Celtics, and right away, Jaylen Brown. Every big trade, they bring him up, and it's never like, oh, we're going to keep this guy. So I know he definitely sees your stuff.
And that makes sense, too, if he would want to opt out then and be like, I want the deciding factor of where I'm going to end up if I'm always in these trade talks. I don't want to just get tossed to it.
I don't even know what the contract language is right now of what he's going to get paid off the top of my head. But I think he's going to opt out either way. Either way he opts out, he's going to get paid more money regardless, unless he does like a sign and trade type of thing. But I think he's going to leave, and I think he wants up going to Houston. I really do. And I think them bringing in Udoka is a big reason, obviously, besides the fact that they're young and they need a good head coach, and he's a good head coach, they wanted to try to reel in Jaylen Brown.
What if Jaylen Brown and James Harden both go to Houston?
That'd be crazy. I think Harden's staying. I do.
You think he's staying, you said? That'd be cool.
I think he's staying.
He loves Joel and the team.
Especially if they make noise this year. Say if they get past this round, they'll cruise next round. I'm not worried about next round. They get to the finals, win, lose. He's coming back because if they lose the finals, he's like, all right, let's run it back. If they win, let's keep it going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree with that.
I think he's coming back.
Speaking of the next round, Eastern Conference Finals. So the Sixers just need to win one more game. They have a big opportunity game 6. They'd play either Miami or the Knicks, and Miami is most likely because they're up 3-1. Yeah. They play tonight, so by the time that we talk about this, they might even have won.
I think it might be over tonight.
But I agree with you. Like looking at it, obviously they beat us and knocked us out last year. And was it last year or the year before?
The Heat last year.
Okay. Yeah, the year before was Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, so obviously last year they knocked us out. So that's kind of like maybe would have people concerned. But I feel like, I don't know why, but I just look at the Heat this year and with how good we've been playing and how good this team is, I like it, they don't concern me.
I'm not concerned to Miami. I don't know if it's like disrespectful.
I know. That's what makes me nervous.
Like as fans to the judge teams, like, you know what I mean? But like, I'm not worried about them at all. They don't have Tyler Hero. So they're missing him.
Okay, yeah.
So that's like, not that he's like, oh my God, the superstar or nothing, but he's still one less role player that you got to worry about and stuff like that. He can go get buckets. You got Jimmy Butler, but I mean, like, he's gonna get his regardless. But just stop pretty much everything else. Like, what are you gonna get beat by? Bam, we got Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
They don't got Tucker no more. We got Tucker. Like, they have
Lowry.
No, I'm not worried about him. Are you worried about him? I'm not worried about Kyle Lowry. I mean, yeah, he's a veteran, but I'm not worried. But he's not who he was. He's not. He's not Toronto Lowry. I'm not worried about him.
Oh man, I just want us to at least we need to get past the second round. We need to.
We really do.
If we don't, I think this would hurt the most.
Needs it, mentally. And he looked locked in. Like, even when they were up, they were saying it's not over. We got more. And I just think if they match the energy as they did yesterday, if they match the energy to Game 6, there's no doubt in my mind they win the series.
Oh, I agree. And they should. It's the home atmosphere and everything.
I'm just picturing right now in my head, us up 20 with 4 minutes left, 5 minutes left, 3 minutes left. And the fans are just chanting the reckless, F Miami or anything crazy.
I'm just so excited. I can't wait because we
want Jimmy Butler to come here and return. We want that rematch.
I just want to be good. I was literally 5 years old the last time they went to an Eastern Conference Finals. And we wonder why the Sixers aren't my favorite Philly team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I literally was 5 years old. That's crazy.
Not many memories.
No.
Joyful memories, I should say.
Yeah. It's just
I will
crazy.
be honest with you. I vaguely remember. The only thing I remember is sitting on my floor. My stepdad just coming in from work. I think he worked at AFR at the time. That's yours. He came in and we were watching the NBA Finals. I don't know what game it was, whatever. But that's my furthest memory I could have of a sports moment.
Wow.
I was 7. I don't remember if we won the game. I just remember it was the finals. It was a big moment. I don't even know if I was excited. I think I might have just been watching it just because everyone was there.
Yeah, you didn't understand it at that point.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but no, yeah, it's been forever, dude. We got to get there. This team needs it. Embiid needs it, and I think it's going to happen.
The city needs it.
The city needs it, and more importantly.
But we also got to talk about how insane would that be if the Sixers go to the finals and effing lose, Dunphy. That would be 3 major championships, MLB, NFL, NBA, that Philly would have gotten to within the course of 8 months?
Not even to mention soccer.
Yeah, not even to mention the Union. That's 4 in the course of 8 months. It would
imagine. Seriously, I don't want to.
I don't even know.
I don't know if I'd be mad. I think I'd just laugh.
That's what I'm saying. Because people are gonna come at us. But it's also oh, you're gonna hurt my feelings because we're so good. We made it to the championships. But then, yeah, you actually are gonna hurt my feelings because we didn't win any of them.
We have nothing
It is comical.
We say it was a fun year.
A lot of excitement. But then we're going to be reckless next year because we're going to have such high expectations. And if nobody wins again,
oh God.
Yeah, this upcoming year is going to be.
Now they're winning,
brutal.
but it also would be so Philly if all these teams make it, Phillies make it. Not that everyone really expected much.
Yeah,
they went.
That was just more fun.
It was a fun ride, but once we got there, all right, we wanted to win. In the beginning of the year, no one expected Eagles, but once we got rolling, everyone's bro, it's Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah,
and then
we were 13-0,
and then everyone was pretty much expecting all right, the Sixers are going to get to the second round and lose, but if we get there and then win, everyone's going to be bro, no one sees this coming. You know what I mean? Everyone was oh, we're going to go to the playoffs and lose to Boston. That's what everyone realistically
I said that.
Yeah, I did too. I'm not going to lie, I did. As the season went on, I will be completely honest with you. I was bro, this team's different. They finally got benched. People that can go score, can handle the ball. Not that I'm a huge fan of Niang on the road, but
yeah,
he's been playing a little bit better. But I don't think it's going to matter, like you said. And I'm not worried about Miami. I know we keep talking about Miami. We just got to worry about Boston. We don't. The players do.
Yeah.
But it's over. They're going to match that energy. Once the Sixers just feel, the crowd's going to be like nothing they heard yet.
Yeah.
Like, it's been loud. Yeah. It's been loud. It's been rocking these past few years. But now, like, we get it. We get what moment it is. And we're going to show up. Like, that's what we do.
Oh, 100%.
Place is going to be.
You heard how loud we were at Citizens Bank. You heard how loud we were at Lincoln Financial Field. Like, imagine that enclosed in Wells Fargo. Enclosed. Like, I'm so excited. Okay.
Now I want to go. I legit want to go now.
Liam's going. Mark's going. We got a couple team. Yeah.
I'm about to go.
Oh, I'm so excited. Dunphy, we already mentioned that it's been a while since we really been filming. But last June was when like our whole studio situation happened and all that. And up until that point, we were on fire with our Phillies talk because we know what we're talking about.
I wish we were up and running for that run.
I know, because we literally everything we said happened, and maybe we spoke it into existence, and we are the reason. You're welcome.
We're definitely playing. As Topper was playing our podcast, and they were like, "Yo, let's go, let's pick it up."
Exactly. So looking at the Phillies now, it's kind of a very similar start to last year. There's a lot of concerns with pitching as of right now, just because it was a really slow start for Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola this year. Finally, looks like they're starting to get their rhythm, which is nice to finally see. And a lot of Philly fans can calm down, because it was literally, I feel like it was exactly last year where everybody was just tossing them into the sun and like so mad at this team, rightfully so, because there were some very poor performances so far. But like how we were last year. It's so early in the season. The Mets have already imploded. You don't have to worry about them.
There's just went another IL stint, right? Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And literally their whole team, their offense that was like the scariest part coming into this year has done nothing.
I'm not worried about the Mets.
No, me either. And so basically all of the NL East.
I'm worried about ourselves getting right.
Well,
getting into the
I was going to say most of the NL East is like very comparable right now, because the Phillies are finally starting to catch up and stuff. But the scary team, as always, is the Braves in the NL East as of right now.
The Braves are going to be the Braves. You know what I mean?
Braves are going to brave.
What I mean by that is the Braves been good my whole life. The Braves are probably always going to be good my whole life. I don't ever see them. They're just a well-run oiled machine.
They are.
And they were a well-run oiled machine last year. Do you remember what happened last year?
We won.
Spanked them.
Well, and that's the thing.
Their Cy Young couldn't even handle us.
And that's the thing. I'm not really concerned about their pitching. Maybe it is because of last year. So I'm like, and our offense is so good. And that's been the thing with the Phillies is like, we aren't bad on paper. We just haven't gotten clicked or haven't clicked yet. Bryce Harper just came back.
Finally getting warm.
Yeah.
Watch when it
everybody. Warm out. Exactly. And so I don't really have any concerns.
Schwarber's out of the one hole.
Yeah. Bryson Stott in the one hole is beautiful. Nick Castellanos is finally Nick Castellanos, which we said last year would happen. We said that, okay, it might take a year.
I think there was an injury early on in the year that just lingered with him all year long. Something
that would make sense. Or mental.
Because he got hit by a pitch early on. And not that he was on a tear the first 20 games, but he was hitting better than he did the rest of the 140 games. And I think it was something.
The Kevin Long effect.
That dude's an absolute
beautiful, because we're also seeing it right now. The batting average leaders.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
Brandon Marsh and Nick Castellanos both at 317. Like Brandon Marsh, when he came here, his concern and everybody, the people that weren't excited about it was the fact that we got a defensive center fielder, which we needed at the time, but he was not good on offense supposedly. Now
he batted 300 all last year, including playoffs with us. When he was as a Philly, he's batting over 300. I'm not exactly sure what his batting average is now.
317. Same as Nick Castellanos.
Castellanos now leads the team in hits. Also.
Yeah. Yep. He's in the top 10 for the MLB, crazy. I think.
He is. Which is pretty crazy, because you think guys like Turner, and then how much of a tear Stott was on, a 20-game hit streak. He's not even the top no more. And then you have, obviously, Marsh, who's tearing it up. He was up there with them all season. But here comes Castellanos out of nowhere, just like, now I'm back.
I just love it.
I'm back.
And that's the thing about the Phillies is, to me, start slow. I said it last year. I'll say it every single year because I'm a firm believer of it. Start slow and just hang around. As long as you do that the first half of the season,
2 games on
you're fine. Yeah. And we saw it. We literally saw it last year. They hung around, did what they needed to, and they got hot at the right time.
We got Ranger coming back soon too.
Ranger comes back against the Rockies this weekend. So that's going to be huge.
Back this weekend.
Yeah, but he's going to be on like an innings count or limit. But that's huge. Yeah, because Matt Strom, get out.
Yeah.
Bailey Falter still kind of makes me nervous just because he did have a few good performances this year so far, but he's starting to get worse as we're seeing him. And that's my concern. It's just the fact that Falter had his success because he was kind of a spot starter and he doesn't have anything that's going to wow you. So the more you see him and the more tape there's on him, it's going to be really easy to nail him down. So that was always my concern.
I'm kind of over him.
Yeah, I think that's what we're seeing.
I think you might see him get bounced out first. They might bounce Falter out before they do Strom.
And no, they already moved Strom to the bullpen. They did Sunday night. So
you think they make a move at a deadline?
Oh yeah, they're definitely. You always have to. That's the thing. Okay, so looking at this too, Jose Alvarado just got put on the 15-day IL because of a left elbow inflammation.
Good, because that could be worse. That could make
Yeah. Andrew Bellatti's coming back, but yeah.
Wish you didn't tell me that.
But it's just like literally year after year after year after years, the bullpen is always the biggest question. Taijuan Walker looks like he's starting to get a hold of it.
Coming around.
Yeah. So I think it's just like a slow start, which is fine. And we're going to see that in this rotation. It's always the bullpen. Huh?
World Series hangover.
There you go.
Seriously.
When you're playing that late. Yeah.
Play till what? November
5th, because Union and Phillies lost on the same day, November 5th.
Great memory.
Yeah. Bad day in Philadelphia.
Before we move on, Kevin Long, I like you brought him up. Christian Pache, he got hurt, but that's a great example of you bringing him up because
great example. I didn't even think of him.
Like everyone was writing him off as pretty much right. He was going to run himself out the league. Yeah, this kid was batting 3 something.
Well, and even when he came in,
threes, I think too.
The beginning of the season when he came in, he looked terrible at the plate, and it took a couple weeks, and then boom,
and everyone's like, "Stop putting this dude in the lineup." I'm like, "Bro, it's April for one. This is when you get guys work. Let Kevin Long work with him. If you come around mid-May and they're using him once a week, twice a week, and he's not hitting still, see you. Go down to the minors. We tried.
Exactly.
This just shows you Kevin Long
is literally
he's the guy.
The guy, and I love it.
It was a great comparison. Someone mentioned him. They said they compared him. He is to the Phillies what the hell's his name? Offensive line coach.
Wait.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Now I just keep thinking Shane Steichen, but that was offensive coordinator. I know.
Colts.
Dang.
Oh my God. We're terrible. Especially me.
He's literally Philly's savior because that's why. Oh my gosh.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Got it for us, Liam?
Eagles offensive. Jeff Stoutland. I knew it was a freaking S.
What an idiot I am. But yeah.
We are so sorry, sir.
Yeah. So yeah.
No, but you're right. Like it's that where he's like a background piece. People outside of Philly wouldn't think to give him credit, but he's such a huge piece. Glue. Yes. Literally.
The glue. You go draft me and I'm gonna turn into a great center.
And honestly, like when he was that endorsed by Bryce Harper, you knew he was going to be something serious. So one last thing I did want to say about the Braves is
pretty sure Girardi brought him here too. I think he was Girardi's guy.
I'm not sure about that. I knew that he had a connection with Bryce because of the Washington Nationals. I don't know about Girardi.
Okay.
But it wouldn't shock me. Girardi's been around forever.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. But one thing about the Braves, just because I forgot to mention it and it was insane when I was looking up like the MLB batting leaders right now. In every single batting category they had listed, one of the Braves was in the top 5. Every single category had a Braves player in the top 5. That's how good. But like we said, they're just always consistently good. Last year we saw it too. It was consistently good, but Philly got hot at the right time and they were the better team at that moment. And that's how baseball works.
Strider, the Cy Young favorite right now, could not handle us in Philly.
Mm-hmm. And wait until everybody's back and hot. Trey Turner has not even been Trey Turner, and you know he's coming.
And he's going to be
fine.
40-something hits.
Exactly. And you know he's going to be absolutely fine because it's Trey Turner.
Yeah.
So, like, imagine when that clicks, when
Harper gets hot.
And then you have Schwarber that comes back because
he's not even getting hot yet.
No, he just got out of like a 25 at-bat slump. He was like, go for 25. But like, so that's the thing. And then it all mixes with Castellanos being hot, Marsh being hot. Like there's just
Boom.
Yep, Boom. We saw him being hot. He carried this team a lot in the very beginning of the season. So like there's so much potential and it's gonna click and it's so exciting.
They just gotta I don't think they're ever gonna do it, but I would like for them to kind of stick to a lineup most of the time.
They will, I think, when they start getting
Charlie
guys back.
Charlie didn't matter what was going on. He wasn't analytically ran at all. He just, this is my lineup. Oh, Chase, you're batting 0 for 30. You're past 30 at bats. Cool. You're still batting third tonight. Get out of your slump.
I was going to say it's very the old way of baseball. Yeah. And I like it too. I think they'll get more in a rhythm as the season goes by and everybody starts warming up and everything. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think
our bullpen you brought up hasn't looked as great as we were hoping because we did make some key moves. But I think if they get the hang of things and we got a nice 4-piece back in the bullpen.
We do. Once everybody,
if our guys can get us to like the 5th, 6th inning.
Yeah.
I'm confident in our guys. We got Alvarado, obviously, who you mentioned, just hit the IL. Then you got Kimbrel. Then you got
Dominguez.
Sir Anthony, he's the best piece.
Yeah.
Even though Alvarado's been probably our best piece.
He has so far, yeah.
And Soto. I mean, he's getting things together, but I'm confident in that 4-piece. You throw them out there and make some noise, especially with this lineup.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not worried about it because you mentioned the trade deadline. We've seen that this GM and like everybody is fully in on this team. So they're going to make the necessary moves. And when you have guys like Bryce Harper and you put so much money into this team, like Bryce is so like he's like a LeBron James. He is in that front office because he's just such a great baseball mind.
He's going to be like, hey, yeah, look, John.
And so respected.
We could really use another third baseman. John's like, really? You think, like, yeah, we can use a third baseman. And then the next day we're gonna sign back up third baseman.
Literally, because he's just so respected and so smart.
Exactly.
One thing I do before we move on to Eagles schedule release, Bryson Stott. You got to be with Philly's young prince the other day. Tell us about that.
So Bryson Stott is the man. So we went to the bathroom in the back of the store. I'm walking up back to just chilling in the front. And I didn't even know Stott was walking up. He walked in the store as I'm walking there. And he just seen me. We both see each other, just dabbed each other up. I had my shirt on and all. We dabbed each other up, talking. And it was like he was that cool. Like he didn't like care where he was. Like he was just being himself. But you could tell he's a real laid back, shy kind of person. Maybe he's kind of like he's shy till he gets to know you type person.
That would make sense.
We weren't there long enough together.
Yeah.
He was starting to come around. Obviously, it's weird because no matter who you are, you got 100 cameras pointing at you. You're the center of attention. You're not usually known for being the center of attention besides on the baseball field. So this acting and doing stuff is all new to him.
Yeah, it was out of his comfort zone and didn't know everybody.
So yeah, me and him. So in the commercial we were shooting, I was the customer. I was ordering a sandwich, and he's working the cashier. So we literally had to stand. We were probably like this far from each other's face. And
was he beautiful?
He was. We literally had to stare into like each other. That's how you talk to somebody. You look into someone's eyes. But I didn't want to say like, "Hey, just for staring." I don't know. He was cool. Like every joke I made, he laughed. He made jokes, I laughed. Like it was cool. Like he was just being like a normal person. He wasn't like cocky, weird. Like you can.
But he never seems like that. Yeah.
But I will say this. They're getting B-roll at the end, and they're like, "Yo, we're gonna record from the back. They're gonna record from the back this way, of you guys just act like you're talking. Maybe we can add it, whatever." So I'm like, "All right, cool." They're like, "Just talk for 60 seconds," and I'm like, "I'm joking." I'm like, "Yeah, like we have a bunch to fucking talk about." And he's laughing. I'm like, "All right, you know what? I'll answer some Phillies questions." So I was like, besides Citizens Bank Park, because I know it's going to be your answer, what's your favorite stadium that you've been to? And he said San Diego. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, now what about what was the loudest stadium? Obviously, you'd have to compare playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, Atlanta, San Diego, who was louder? He said San Diego. And I was like, Atlanta was corny, and he said, yeah, Atlanta's so corny. And I was like, the chop is like stupid. I'm like, this dude's the man. Like, I love him even more because I hate Atlanta. Obviously, you could tell, like, it's rivalries to fans, but it's also rivalry to them guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't like Atlanta just as much as we don't like Atlanta. And then the chop's all corny. You're out there playing. You're trying to pay attention to baseball, and you got these idiots going like this, and they're like,
well, you think about it, it's the same thing as how like Eagles players actually don't like Dallas.
No.
Like, and it's the same thing basically because it like, and when it's such a rivalry too, and like you're in the conference and you have to play each other, it also like, especially in baseball, you play each other so much, you get frustrated when, especially the Braves are good. Yeah. So it's like you just get annoyed because you're like, okay, yeah, we know you're good. We're finally going to beat you at some point.
So this day and age is so different compared to like back then with like players like respecting and not because of social media and then all these camps and stuff you grow up around players. So like Dallas players and there's some Eagles players that like all players respect each other to an extent.
Yeah.
But now there's guys that, like I hate when they don't acknowledge like the
rivalry.
The rivalry. I hate that they don't acknowledge it. Like I'll say Micah Parsons. If he was an Eagle, he would be pissing me off big time. He's just out there like.
Do you remember when Jalen Hurts wore an Astros hat because he's actually from Houston? Right. And like people still were furious about it? And like
he's like, it's just a hat, bro.
Like, yeah, like I literally. So I feel like imagine if he went to a game.
I feel like AJ Brown's kind of like that. Like I know he spun the pot. He started the pot a little bit at the draft, but I feel like he's someone I would say like he would be buddy on the field like a Cowboys guy. He wouldn't feed off the hate. To where when Micah Parsons was on Twitter, he was like, "Oh, it's my favorite player." Talking about Lane Johnson, like I love this dude. Lane Johnson didn't give him like he just put like an emoji back to him, like whatever. Like he didn't say like, "Oh my God, you're a great player. I love your game. You're an awesome kid. You have a bright future." He just could throw him like, "Yeah, like whatever. Like shut up and let's get to work."
You know, Lane definitely takes this offensive line. I feel like all are like. F Dallas. They definitely 100%. Are that way.
And he said it, and he's from Dallas. So I don't know if he's from Dallas, he's from Texas. So he probably grew up a Cowboys fan or whatever, because he went to Oklahoma. It's all down south and shit like that. So what I was saying was I think his grandmother is a Cowboys fan. And I remember there was an article went viral years ago, and he was like, she said something about the Cowboys or wanted to watch the Cowboys, and he was like, if you want this to be your last Thanksgiving or something like that, jokingly, but like you could tell like still the rivalry is there for these guys, and it's
for sure.
The younger generation, they're not like, I want them to keep pushing it. Like,
well, and even
Dallas.
So real quick with the AJ Brown thing, I think it's different too because AJ Brown's smart, dude. So I feel like some of the things, like we saw it with the draft, like you said, some of the things he says, I think it's kind of like fraternizing, but trying to be like, hey, come to Philly. We're having fun. You know what I mean? Yeah. But legally. Yeah. So I think he kind of does it like that to be like, we're having a blast, dude. Like, come over here. So I think he's smart.
I think Parsons wants
to. Yeah. Well, so AJ Brown, like, I think that's why he does it. Parsons is confusing because he did grow up a Dallas fan, but he's from Harrisburg. So that's why it's just confusing because it's like, make up your mind. Like, you understand this rivalry.
He legit grew up a Cowboys fan?
Yeah, he did. And because his family was or something. But he's from Harrisburg. And that's why it's kind of annoying too. Because I'm like, dude, stop trying to rep Philly. Like, he was all over Phillies when they were going. Yeah, like he grew up by Dion.
Probably wasn't even the Sixers fan.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why it's annoying. I
don't really have any other basketball teams up.
Yeah, it's like split. Like, there are a lot of Sixers fans there. But it is just annoying though, because it's like, dude, you're not even actually from Philly. And now, so if I was a Dallas fan, that's like how I would look at it. I'd be like, you're not even from Philly. Like, why are you all over their teams on Twitter and going to their games? Like, that would annoy me.
I did see one tweet. I don't follow the guy. I get like tweets that pop up on my Twitter of guys I don't follow, but for some reason I guess
thank Elon Musk,
whatever. Yeah, so the guy popped up and he was like, "I'm getting tired of this dude. Like he's starting to get really annoying. Like we get it. Like you're from Philly area, cut the shit out. Like so." I mean, I think eventually it's going to start taking a toll on something. They're going to get pissed off. I mean, it helps that he's arguably the best defensive end in the league. So
I don't hate it because like it does annoy me because I'm like whatever, but we are on the good side of it.
I would be.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like
if that was Hurts, like because Hurts could because he has guys over there he's played with.
He could have
CD Lamb. He has what's the corner's name?
What's his name? Diggs.
Diggs, yeah, Stephon Diggs. So he has relationships with them guys.
Yeah, well, and he also easily, because he actually grew up in Houston. Yeah, you know he's probably an Astros fan.
Right.
That's why he had the hat. He could have easily been cheering them on in the playoffs last year when the Phillies were on the run. He's smart enough. He was like, I'm not even touching that. I am Philly's property.
Don't ruin what you got going. You're just making a bad market for yourself.
Well, that's why I just think it's interesting because I'm like, that's why it confused me because I'm like, Parsons was a Cowboys fan supposedly growing up. So you would think he'd be happy to go in there and understand it. But the way he's acts like he wants to come to Philly. Like even with his draft stuff with AJ Brown, they got along really well and they were going back and forth and AJ was saying comments. And he was even like so visibly like joking around upset with the Eagles drafting choices. So like he knows.
It's funny for what it's worth. This doesn't really mean much, but this guy I follow on Twitter, he's an Eagles fan. He's real vocal with like his opinions and all. And he's a good follow, but apparently he was Parsons' barber and stuff like that back in the day. So he was Parsons' barber before the draft. And when they were saying guy on Twitter was defending Parsons, saying, "Oh, like he didn't say he's wearing a Sixers jersey. It's not that big of a deal. He didn't want to come. The Sixers. He posted a video of him wanting. I hope Dallas takes me. I hope Dallas takes me." Which Parsons did say that vote before the draft, but
that's also when Philly wasn't as good as they are, so that's notable.
But the barber got him there and was like, "I'm not going to tell you because what happens in the barbershop stays in the barbershop, but I'm not going to tell you what he was telling me when I was cutting his hair." And I was just sitting there thinking, like, is he stirring the pot? Either way, he's stirring the pot. But is he bluffing or is he true? Like, what if Parsons was like, "Bro, I really hope I hope they draft me," or he could have been like, "Bro, like, could have said nothing." You know what I mean?
Literally.
But I
think that's interesting.
So imagine he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna let Dallas draft me, play there a few years, and then I'm gonna come sign with Philly."
Because he knows he'd get money too in Dallas.
Oh,
but that's also just like
he's probably the number one selling jersey because obviously Dallas is America's team, unfortunately, but it's just the truth. It's what it is. Like,
and he was such a big name coming out of the draft. He went to Penn State, which is a cult, so all the Penn State alumni are getting that. So yeah, I wouldn't blame you. I looked it up. So it says he went to Harrisburg High School and then Central Dauphin. So he is from Harrisburg.
Central Dauphin's out that way, I assume.
Yeah, Dion went to Lower Dauphin. So it's like right next to him.
How old is Parsons?
Probably a little bit younger than me. Yeah, I can look it up. But I
assume. 2 years of college.
So he was born May 26th. His birthday's coming up, 1999. So he's 4 years.
He was your brother's age.
Yeah, dude, isn't that so weird? I feel like these guys, I'm like, yeah, they're like my age. And no, they're like way younger now. Not way younger, but so he's probably like 23, 24.
I'm washed up.
He's almost 24, I guess. But before we wrap up this first show back, Eagles are releasing, well, not just the Eagles, the NFL are releasing schedules. Yeah, most importantly, the Eagles are releasing schedules. So before that comes out, Dunphy, you're partnered with Fans of Philly. So you get your choice, basically. I don't know how it works, but I'm assuming you get your choice of what away games you want to travel with them. So the away teams that they're going to play, they're going to be in Tampa, in Kansas City, in New York for the Jets. Well, yeah, New England, LA Rams, and then Seattle. So what are I definitely need to be there. And how many games are you going to? Do you know yet?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I never do. I usually do at least one trip with the guys, and then I do one trip with my wife. So as of now, the game we're talking about, all the guys, is Kansas City. not just because of this was like playing, because obviously the teams come out years in advance. But we've been talking about going to KC for a while, just because Arrowhead's supposed to be like one of, if not the loudest stadium. And it's just a good atmosphere, and I want to go experience it.
And it's a great, like, I didn't realize how much fun stuff Kansas City had until Dion played there. Like, so they have Kansas City barbecue, obviously, got to try that and stuff. But they also have like the Negro Leagues Museum and all that stuff.
That so the museum is?
Yeah, in Kansas City.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think so. But
you might be right.
Yeah, I believe so. But it's in one of those areas. Maybe it's in Milwaukee, but I'm pretty sure it's Kansas City. But it's still an awesome atmosphere. And Dion loved Kansas City. So I feel like that would be a really fun trip.
So yeah, that's number one, what I'm looking to go to. The two choices Tower's really torn between is I might be a little busy B this year. She's saying she doesn't really care if we don't go on this year, which I like going on them because it's another game for me.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't mind chilling with her. So she wants to go somewhere nice.
I don't mind chilling with my wife.
Yeah. Some people are weird about that shit, but I don't mind it. I have fun. Tampa or LA.
Okay, that's fun.
Choices. So it really depends on the dates they fall on.
I was gonna say, the time of year too.
Like I was telling you earlier, her birthday's October 3rd and my daughter's October 10th. So they are a week apart, obviously, and I don't know what day they fall on, but the parties of my daughters are usually on that weekend. So it's can't leave for a weekend. So like last year we got lucky. Her birthday was like a Monday and it was the 10th. And like we flew home that morning. Like, I don't know. We wanted to make it work because we've been trying to do Arizona for years, not just as for an Eagles game, just in general. But my cousin was just telling me he wants to do a bachelor party. Hopefully the Eagles play the Patriot early on. He wants to do Boston.
Okay, so, Boston's fine.
So we might do Boston if it's before, I think, the first week of November because he doesn't want it to be too cold.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility. The Jets, depending on when it is, because
close
it's right there.
Yeah.
I did New York Giants. I did Bills. I would get this one, just knock it out the way. We play the Jets often, so just knock it out. Plus Rodgers is there.
So so that'll be
even cooler.
I agree.
My guy betPARX, he's there. So he owes me a jersey swap. He promised me. I got text. So hopefully do something with that. So yeah, there's a few games it looks like I could possibly be going to this year.
I think Seattle would look cool or be cool too, just because Dion's gone to Seattle and like I could never live in Seattle because it's always gray and rainy and like that is not. I need sun and warmth.
Not just because of the weather. The people are weird.
That doesn't surprise me, yeah. But Dion loves Seattle, so I think that would be a cool city to visit if you've never been there.
Yeah.
And then the Rams, you already mentioned that one, but I didn't even realize this would be their first time playing in SoFi.
Yeah, the new stadium. First time wasn't really. It was Coliseum.
So that would be cool just to say you were there at that first game. But yeah, I think it all depends on time of year.
This is the first year they're playing at SoFi.
Yeah.
I'm saying the Rams. Are you saying the Eagles first time playing at SoFi? Oh yeah, this would be the Eagles. I think you're saying the Rams. The Rams. So when did SoFi open?
Last year?
Okay.
I think, right?
You might be right.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's gonna be the Eagles.
I didn't know.
But so that would be cool though. I don't know how I feel about LA. I always hear bad stuff. I think my places to go is I've been to Tampa for like all the time because Dion literally lived in Bradenton one summer. So I was down there like all the time, which is right next to Tampa. But I love Tampa so much. So I think I would do that or Kansas City. That would be it because I also just really love Andy Reid and love them, even though they both beat us. I probably shouldn't have said that. We might have to edit it out. But speaking of that, there was something last night. It was the Kelsey Brothers podcast. They're having Andy Reid on. And I was like, this is going to be awesome. And I looked at the comments and it was like people like Kansas City fans because of Travis. And it was like Big Red and there was him as a coach in Kansas City, blah, blah, blah. And I went to the gifts and I searched like Andy Reid. And obviously it was just all Kansas City. So I did Andy Reid Eagles. And there was literally one GIF and it wasn't even like a good one to use. So I couldn't even use it. And it just made me, I was like, wow. Like there's like it's just like irrelevant because he's got such a legacy, obviously, in Kansas City. Right. But I guess his time here, like he was here until like 2012. And I feel like social media, like, yeah, it was like newer, but it was still around. So it just shocks me that
gifts might not have even been a thing then.
I know, but it's still crazy that like, so besides Philadelphia, it just made it clear to me, like nobody associates him with Philly, even though he was here for 13 years and started.
Do. I wonder if it's just like an us thing. Like
that's what I'm saying. Isn't that a weird thought? Because I was just like, what? Like nobody even, because to me, I still root for him when he's not playing Philly. Yeah. I still root for him when he's not playing Philly because I just have so much respect and love Andy.
I'm an Andy guy as well.
Yeah. Majority of people are, unless you're just a troll.
Yeah, you're weird if you don't like Andy.
Literally.
Just like people that don't like McNabb. It's just weird to me.
Right?
I don't get it.
Like, yeah, you might not have agreed with everything.
He threw up.
Yeah.
What the fuck? He still played.
Yeah.
I don't get people. Oh, he threw up. I don't care if he shit himself. Like, played through whatever he was going through and played.
Literally. Like it is so strange.
I don't know. People are weird. They just want to complain. I can see if he threw up and cried and left and never came back, like Carson Wentz did. But he didn't. He played and tried. And
he didn't feel good.
Yeah. Him and McNabb Theo didn't like each other.
We knew that.
I wish they loved each other. But Andy couldn't handle, or I think McNabb couldn't handle T.O. wanting to be the guy.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was ultimately.
T.O. is a hard personality.
He definitely
even just like nowadays you see him.
Especially McNabb being the kid coming in and he was the guy.
Yeah.
Like Dawkins was the guy actually, but like Dawkins was just him.
He wasn't going to fight you for camera time. He didn't care about that. Regardless. Yeah.
He wanted to be a dog, go out there and fucking crack somebody's skull.
Exactly.
And he did. And McNabb wanted to be Campbell's soup guy. He wanted to be whatever he was on. But T.O. was just came here and was like, yeah, he's hard to deal with. I get it.
Yeah. Mother's Day is coming up. So who, like, just off the top of your head, are like the most iconic Philly sports moms? You got obviously Dawn and Kelsey now. I think of Deshaun Jackson's mom because she was always on Twitter. McNabb's mom because of the Campbell's soup too.
I think she's above.
Yeah, I don't have them ranking. I'd probably have Dawn and Kelsey first if I had to, and then Dawn.
Now because it's so relevant, but I would say definitely McNabb's mom is number one. If you're going because it's relevant now, she was literally in the commercials with them.
Yeah, but Donna Kelsey's literally in the Football Hall of Fame, and literally.
Why?
Because she's the first mom to have two sons compete against each other in the Super Bowl. So, they literally have her jacket in there. So
I think she's your favorite person. You're biased.
No, that's literally a fact.
I get the fact.
Wait. Okay. You're trying to call me biased when we're literally ranking best Philly sports moms. One. And she's number one. She's literally the only mom in the Hall of Fame. She's quite literally the only Hall of Fame mom. She's obviously number one.
I got to look into this Hall of Fame stuff because McNabb's mom could be in the Hall of Fame too. Just don't know
at Campbell's Soup.
Yeah.
She's probably still got her freaking picture up at Campbell's Soup Inc.
Any other moms?
Deshaun Jackson mom, it stands out. Just like
she might be third, but it's like a drop off.
It is. It's a big drop off.
McNabb's mom,
Lisa Ertz.
She did a lot in the community,
and yeah, she's still doing a lot in the community.
Still in this community.
Yeah, it's weird that it's a lot of football moms. Maybe I don't know why that's coming to mind.
Iverson's mom was like something.
Wait, so that when we talked about this before, somebody brought up Iverson, but like I said, it was 5 years old, so I was too young to. I don't think that's why I don't remember it like that because I was so young.
There's not many moms really involved.
Flyers make sense because I was just going to say Flyers, there's not many moms that come to mind, but that makes sense because it's a lot of international guys too. So like their moms probably aren't around.
Even baseball. I can't think of even the old players.
Yeah. But it also makes sense again because it's such a long season. I mean, yeah, no, literally, because even trying to think of parents, first ones that come to mind are Ryan Howard's parents in St. Louis, but that wasn't a big thing. Like it was just them watching their kid.
Yeah, baseball parents don't really care.
Football moms are just crazy moms.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the four that come to mind. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. I should stop picking my eyelash as I'm saying that. I actually sincerely mean happy Mother's Day. Yeah. So Dunphy, that's it for episode 1 in the new volume 2, episode 1.
Volume 2, episode 1.
Yes.
2 Jones with.
And we're back. Studio's not complete yet, But as you can see, it's doable.
It's beautiful. It's perfect.
Yeah. I can't wait to just
you know what we need? Camera ourselves. We don't even need a chair. Just camera ourselves and a mic.
Literally.
And just tell us where to go. And we're there.
Yeah.
2 Jones with a pod.
Comes naturally. Let me tell you. But that's it. We'll be back again with another episode soon. Bada bing.